Hello everybody, I'm playing more World of Tanks and I've finally got myself this RHM Borsig thing. Now it's taken me a while to get it because I don't play very often, so I've kind of grinded it out and I finally got to the RHM. I still haven't got the big gun, but this just so happens to be the last game with this 12, I think it's 12.8. Yeah, 128mm weapon. It's penetration is pretty decent, 246. Damage is 490s. So I'm enjoying this tank quite a lot. I thought I would do, and this map shows absolutely why I love this tank. So it's got a really low profile, which means that your camouflage rating is really good. Even sitting out in the open like this, my camouflage rating is pretty good. Although no one's actually going to spot me. Its view range is pretty good for a tank destroyer as well. As the first fellow goes down on our team. So the question is, do we stay here? Do we move? I mean, we're in a bit of precarious. I mean, I'm a one shot waiting to happen, but I'll shoot and move back. As you can see, I spotted the T-34 then. I got a nice little icon to suggest that I did. And now I'm going to sit and we'll find out if we can spot this T-34 heavy tank go past, or has he already done so. I'm also expecting this pattern to come around the corner any minute now. So what we've done is we've moved back, which is, I think, is a very sensible thing to do. All the while keeping an eye on the old town, making sure that I can see anything that comes through, like the T-34. Obviously I didn't get a chance to ping him there, and he's obviously safe. The STA-1 on the other hand is not particularly safe. He is unfortunately stuck pretty much out in the open waiting to be killed. STA-1's not going to last very long at all, unfortunately. The lucky thing though is that in this position you can also see into where their church is. So if anything comes and sits behind the church, I can see, if they are spotted, most of the people behind there. So the IS-3 that's coming in here now, you got lucky there, I missed the shot. But the second shot, what will happen there? Well, 10 seconds later, I get another 529 damage. Very nice little thing. Him thinking that he's safe behind that church is kind of mistaken, because unfortunately he isn't. And that's another 507 damage on to the quite a high amount that I've already got. The IS-3 finally cottons on that he needs to go behind the church, and the T-34, another T-34 gets hit, and I'm in pretty good shape here to do a serious amount of damage. Now I missed the T-54 shot. I wasn't likely to actually pen either because of his turret, but hopefully he's going to move back and he's going to provide me with another shot, but he doesn't. He moves out of the way, and it's now a chance to just wait and see. The T-54E1 may come into fruition, but the T-34 decides that he wants to cross an open area where he knows for a fact that there are people up there. So yeah, he's now very low, and the Indian Panzer is just going to reverse right back in. Unluckily for me, I bounce as the E50 behind me takes the shot. Noticing that the pattern has now moved from the centre road, we can, if necessarily, move up, but we choose to just stay here because we think that the town looks quite dangerously overrun here, so we're going to try and give as much support as possible. I've done 3,500 damage, so you want to hope that I can do some serious work. Now I decide, okay, they're not going to show themselves. We're going to move forward. Let's see if we can take the STA-1. I take a pot shot, not thinking that I was going to hit him, but I made sure that I was in the right location to do so if and when a shot came available. It did come available. I took it, a snapshot, and I got lucky. The RHM here is going to have a bad day if he moves any more forward, but luckily for me, he does. And that's a little bit of a low roll there for the weapon, but I ain't complaining considering some of the 500s that I've got so far. Remember, the average damage for this weapon is actually only 490, so getting 500 plus is quite a nice little bonus. I'm going to focus now on the old 281, and I got a decent roll there, managing to kill the 261 with one shot, without using HE of course. Now here is where things get a little bit scary, because the Leo is going down, the AT-15 is coming into play, but the other tanks in there are actually all fairly low health, apart from the RHM who's at half. He's going down, he's keep going down. I'm trying to manoeuvre to get a position, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get a decent enough position here, so I'm going to just hold just for now, just to try and secure this area as best as I can. The E50M is in trouble though, so I'm going to decide, do you know what, the Leo and the AT-15, they can deal with all that in there, and it's now up to me to see if I can do some damage against these two other tanks. Now one of them is the E100, the Jag Panther E100, which is going to be a difficult target, so I'm going to load some high explosives for the RHM and hope that he's going to come right around the corner. Luckily for me, this fella here decides he wants to have some fun. The IA explosives didn't go to waste. I did take out the old other RHM. Now I'm just going to reload high explosives again, because there is another RHM somewhere around the corner. I'm going to be very careful, because he obviously may have the big gun which can do 750 plus damage, and if you're unlucky, you know, he sets you on fire or he gives you an ammo rack. You've got to be very careful. So I'm going to move forward very cautiously, because there is also an E100 there you've got to be very careful about. Here we go. It doesn't help either on our team that the fact that our Indian Panzer is AFK. So I'm going to inch forward. I'm going to see what I can get. The E100 is lit, so that's a load off my mind. And where is the RHM though? That is the question. So I am going to have to, unfortunately, the way that this map works is I'm going to give my position away here now by travelling into the box. I don't want to, but unfortunately the only way I think to be able to actually do some damage is to get into the box, and hopefully I might be able to get him to come round the corner, or I poke my little head round and see what happens. The RHM is at full health last we saw, so 574, pretty low roll for an HE there, but I'm going to reload. I'm going to not even worry about the cap, and we're going to go for it. Now I'm going to load AP here, but I'm not too sure how much damage I'm going to get to do against the E100, because of obviously its thick armour. And I'm not going to sacrifice my tank just for the sake of a couple of extra 100 damage, because I've done 5200 already, so I'm very pleased with that. So there we go, it's been lit, and we're going to see what we can do. Knowing that if I shoot with too much of an angle, it's going to bounce off, and luckily for me I get a decent shot, and there we go. Bob's your uncle. It's done. It's over. We finished. We win. So that was it. That was my last go with this weapon. There's going to be a following video, probably in the next day or so, which was going to show the next weapon, the big weapon, the 150mm or whatever the hell it is. And that mission or that game, that battle, whatever, came straight after. Literally, I finished this battle, I bought the gun with the XP that I just amassed, and then I bought the gun and equipped it, set out on my first mission, or first battle, and the next video you'll see is almost certainly a very, very nice addition to the collection. So, thanks very much everyone for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you next time.